Tommy, nice to see you. Back to doing a down the line one. You've had a busy week. Um, First of all, your thoughts about the Kidderminster game at the weekend? We've not spoken since then.
Yeah, I think it was a fair result. I think both teams, well, it's the effort and the application was there from both for all to see. Um, we neither team really hit top gear, and whilst we will always do the way we play the game, we control games for periods. I didn't feel we hit my fifth gear very often, and for that reason, I thought the point was a fair result. I think, well, in both games, but in that game when we went behind, the response was almost immediate and very positive, which was really good from our point of view. I think that's been something we've always wanted, a good response to anything negative, and having come back off, or not, sorry, having come to that game on the back of a rare home defeat, it was pleasing not to get another defeat because we haven't been back to back this season in that respect. So it was a positive result as far as I was concerned. I think if you look at the league as a whole, there are certain clubs that I think everybody would expect to be very tough visits, and the two we've had this week are certainly in that category.
You say the two. I mean, obviously there was then Brackley on Tuesday. Um, your thoughts on that
Yeah,
one?
we went to Brackley, having gone there once already and not managed to get the game on. So we felt we wanted to go there and prove a point really. So it's another team at the top end of the table that we've managed to take 4 points from, and I can't look at that as anything but positive. Um, People can throw back at me, well, we haven't taken enough points off the lower teams. We're not the only team at the top of the division that happens to. I was talking to their staff afterwards, and they have a similar failing lately. But again, I thought both teams on the night had spells. I think it can't be argued if you look at the stats in the game. The second half was really one-way traffic, and had we nicked an equaliser slightly earlier than we did, I only seen one team going on to win it. They did have a good chance, to be fair, with about 5 minutes to go when we lost the man in the box and he fluffed his lines. But other than that, it was wave after wave of attack in the second half. And again, it can only be positive for me. I said this earlier in the season where I felt we were dominating games, creating a lot of chances, and not scoring enough goals for the chances created. And someone will be on the end of that shortly. So, you know, I'm not going to point out who it'll be, but there'll be somebody who will feel the wrath of hopefully our strikers who, whilst their effort and like I said, their application, they're wanting to do the right thing. It just hasn't come off for one or two of them lately, but I think it will, and I trust them implicitly.
The overall fitness of the squad after those two games and looking ahead to the weekend. How are the players coping with that? Have we got any new worries in the squad at the moment?
Well, we're coming to the end of what will be 8 Tuesday games in a row. We're finalising next Tuesday, so look, I can't deny it's really affected the group. I mean, you can look at the team or the teams that we picked in the last couple of games, and they're very different to the team or the teams that we picked in the first couple of games in this run. So, injuries are part and parcel of the game. We have to get on with it. The whole reason that we have a squad is exactly that. You have to trust the guys inside the building, and I've done that. I've given people opportunities. Both goalkeepers have played now. Ty Fleming's grabbed his opportunity. All the strikers are playing parts at the moment. I mean, we've got that's one touch wood. That's one area of the park where we haven't had much problem in terms of injury since both Jordan Ponticelli and Gold have returned from their injuries. So that's really pleasing for me and encouraging for us. But the lads at the back, people like Josh Coulson, Adam Crowther, the skip, Theo, to a degree, they've hardly missed a minute of football, and that it's been a hell of a schedule for them lads. So look, I'm hoping to have AJ back, Maka back. Who else we got? There's Denton's probably a little further away than that, as is Paul Jones. But I can't knock the group's effort and their want for us to succeed. And you know, you look at the bigger picture rather than the short term gains, and I think we're in a good place. I think the next couple of weeks are going to be big for everybody, but there's 9 games to go, 27 points. Nobody saw Chester losing at home to Peterborough. Nobody saw us lose at home to Farsley. So, it's there'll be bends in the road, there'll be kinks in the road, there might even be singles in the road for one or two clubs. So you never know. We will just keep on keeping on, and we'll mind our own business, and we'll get on with what next job in hand is, and that this weekend is Spennymoor Town.
And looking ahead to Spennymoor, I mean, it's the club are billing this as the Academy Day, so a chance for under-18s to come in. What are you looking forward to with Spennymoor, and what does the under-18 opportunity bring for the club?
Well, I think it's brilliant that we're involved in the academy, not just the 18s, right the way down. You know, the youngsters as far down as under 8s are involved. So, you know, they're going to have a chance to walk on the hallowed turf at half time, some of them doing a lap of honour, which is brilliant. I think the earlier you can get the children and their families involved in supporting of the club, they're in effect supporting themselves. There is definitely pathways for youngsters to come through. Ty Fleming's a good example, and as is Tyler Knowles. You know, we've taken about 6 or 7, 18, 19-year-old lads who've been released from clubs into our academy at the top end of it, with a view to hopefully put them out on loan so they can get a bit of senior football before being involved with the first team. But they do train with the first team. So, you know, people may not know about that, but it's an important message that, you know, if you're from in and around the Kings Lynn area, then your first team should be Kings Lynn Town, obviously because it's your town, then I'd love to think that people are going to get involved. And hopefully that'll swell the gates. I think what we have seen in the 2 games that we played away this week is, you know, a heavily partisan home crowd, which is the case anyway. But when we travel away, our fans are second to none away from home. The way they sing, the way they back, the way they get behind us from minute one, whether we're in front or whether we're behind, we can hear them. And at the end, the appreciation goes both ways. You know, they clap us, we clap them. We're not celebrating at any stage if we win. We're not, you know, spitting our dummies out if we lose. We appreciate the effort they put in, the travel, the expense they do. And so when we're at home, we want to be as partisan as we can, you know, in terms of the crowd behind us, because I think it's a big factor in positivity for the club.
I think that positivity, like you say, to promote that around the town will be a good thing going forward as well. Maybe we can do a bit more. There's been a couple of suggestions thrown at me this week that maybe some of the lads that are involved in the media can go out and put some posters up around the town.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said it the other week on an interview. I didn't feel there was enough presence of the football club in and around the town of Kingsley. And I say I stay up there at least once a week, and you know, I've purposely gone around and had a look, and it's not that people don't know about the football club; they do, and it's easy to say, "Oh, I don't go," but I support them. Well, that isn't supporting them. You got to get through the gate and watch us play. But I know the chairman's looking to help in terms of financial obstacles away and ways around it, and I'm going to be encouraging him to do more of that between now and the end of the season, because at the end of the day, this next 9 games is going to shape what happens to us come the end of the season. Now, you know, what ultimate aim, everybody knows what it is. It's to try and get back out of the division, up the way, not down the way, and we're much closer to doing that than we were in achieving what we tried to achieve last year. So, look, I don't look at other teams and other people and judge myself. I judge myself on me. This time last year, we were in a better place as a football club than we were this time last year. We might not be in as good a league, but as a mentality and as a working practice, this football club is certainly in a healthier position than it was last year. And I want to continue that. So I want people to get on my bus and go the same way as me, not to be descending and giving me reasons why the wheels are coming off. There are no wheels coming off any bus that I'm driving, trust me. And I'm really confident that this group of lads can see it through.